Hello guys, in this video we are going to see about the different tools used for data science. Lot of tools are used for data science nowadays. I have listed few tools namely SQL, Hadoop, Tableau, R, Python, Vika. So let's discuss about each tools in detail. Data is the main ingredient of any data science project, right? So your data can be either structured or it can be unstructured. So structured in the sense the data can be organized in tables. It can be of tabular data, it can be a student data stored in table, or it can be an employee data stored in table, or it can be a loan application data stored in table. So any kind of data which is organized in table comes under structured data. So we have even unstructured data. So few examples of unstructured data are email, the data available in social media networks, feedback given by customers, video feeds, sensor data, satellite feeds. So all this comes under unstructured data. Okay, so SQL stands for structured query language. So whenever we need to collect the data, so we can collect the data available in databases. We can query the data and get the data which are stored in databases. So commonly used databases are SQL and NoSQL. So normally SQL is used for storing relational database, in the sense the data which are organized in tables. So few examples for SQLs are MySQL, SQLite. So now coming on to the non-relational database. NoSQL can be used for storing the non-relational data. So few examples are you can either use MongoDB, Cassandra, etc. So non coming to the next tool, which is Hadoop. So it is an open source software. So it is most probably used for handling big data. Big data in the sense a large volume of data or a huge amount of data, right? So the data in terabytes. So it's an example for big data, right? So normal tools cannot be able to handle this big data. So Hadoop is used for big data. So it can be able to handle the big data using a technique known as MapReduce. So this MapReduce technique will be splitting your data, splitting the data sets, and it can be able to run the data sets parallelly. So a huge amount of data or huge volume of data. So it will be splitted into many data and each data can be run parallelly. So Hadoop make use of the packages like Apache Pig, HBase, etc. So the main advantage of Hadoop is it's scalable. Okay, so if your memory is full and if you want to add more storage, it can be done. So the scalability is the main advantage of Hadoop. So data visualization is another important process of data science, right? So we can make use of any kind of BI tools for visualization. So Tableau is nothing such type of BI tool. So it is a data visualization software. So with the help of Tableau, you can create interactive visualizations as well as dashboard. You can create multiple views and you can combine all the views and create a dashboard. So in Tableau, you can find 24 different charts and graphs. So another advantage of Tableau is it can be connected with Excel. It can be connected with any kind of spreadsheets, any kind of relational databases, also cloud platforms. So this is an additional advantage of Tableau. Also, it provides 24 different charts. So you can create any type of charts like bar chart, line chart, box plot, waterfall chart, combinational chart. So whenever you want to visualize the data or you want to create some interactive visualizations, or if you want to create a report regarding to your data, you can make use of this Tableau. Tableau provides various products like Tableau Desktop, Tableau Public, Tableau Online, Tableau Reader, etc. So this Tableau Public is a open source and it can be used by anyone. So moving on to the next tool, which is R. So it's also an open source software and it can be used for data analysis, any kind of statistical modeling, time series forecasting, clustering, and even you can perform various machine learning tasks with the help of R. So only the disadvantage with R is you cannot perform web integration with R. The next tool is Vika. So it is also an open source tool. It is mainly used for machine learning tasks. So you can perform any kind of machine learning task with the help of Vika. So the main advantage of Vika is coding is not required in Vika. You can perform the machine learning task or any kind of visualization by simple drag and drop. Okay, so without coding, you can get the results with the help of Vika tool. Now let's see why do we use Python for data science and what are the features and components of Python for data science, right? So Python is also an open source software. So it is an object oriented programming language. Features of Python programming are it's a simple programming language. So the codes are easily understandable. It's more readable, and when compared to the other programming languages, you require lesser coding. So for performing the similar task, you require lesser code when compared to the other programming languages. So the next important feature is it can support cross platform, in the sense it can operate easily with any kind of operating system like Windows, Mac, Unix, Linux, etc. Right? You can find large amount of libraries or packages in Python. So whatever task you want to perform, you can make use of those library, right? Python is most commonly used for data science projects, right? All the data science process can be done with the help of Python, right? Starting from data reading. So it can read any kind of data like Excel file, CSV file, text file, right? So data stored in all those data can be read with the help of Python. Also, we can perform the data pre-processing. Various libraries are available for performing the pre-processing task. Whenever you want to integrate the data, you can perform it with the help of Python. Also, data analysis, data visualization, all the statistical operations, any kind of mathematical operations can be done. Also, Python provides a lot of libraries for performing machine learning tasks. Also, you can integrate the code with web application. So all the data science process can be done with the help of Python. So now let's discuss various libraries available in Python which helps in performing this task. So most commonly used libraries are Pandas, NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, and Flask. So pandas is most probably used for data reading, data manipulation, and data analysis. Okay. Even pandas can be used for data pre-processing. So you can clean a data, you can manipulate a data, you can integrate the data, and you can perform the data analysis with the help of pandas library. So moving on to the next library, which is NumPy. So NumPy library is most probably used for performing the mathematical function. So whenever you want to handle large dimensional arrays, you can make use of this NumPy arrays, right? So whatever mathematical operations you are using, you can make use of this NumPy library. So it has a lot of inbuilt functions for performing all the mathematical operations. Moving on to the next library, which is SciPy. Even SciPy is used for performing the mathematical as well as scientific computing. You can find a lot of inbuilt packages for performing the scientific computing. Okay. Even you can make use of SciPy for performing the image processing task. Okay, so all those things can be done with the help of SciPy library. So moving on to the next library, which is Matplotlib. So Matplotlib is most probably used for visualization. So you can visualize the data. So the data can be visualized in any form of charts or plots with the help of Matplotlib. So in addition to Matplotlib, you can also make use of the library Seaborn. So Seaborn library is also used for data visualization. So you can find a lot of charts and graphs, right? So moving on to the next library, which is Scikit-learn library. So it is mainly used for performing the machine learning operations. So you can find lot of inbuilt functions for all any kind of machine learning algorithms. Whatever machine learning algorithms you are using, let it be linear regression, logistic regression, k-means clustering, whatever things you are using, you can make use of this scikit-learn library, right? So next thing is, if you want to integrate with web applications, so if you want to design any web applications, so you can make use of this library named Flask. If you want to build any API, or if you want to build any web applications, so you can make use of this Flask. So these are the common libraries which are used for data science. That's all guys, thank you.